Gratitude and abundance. Another day, another video. Let's go. Listen up, complex cell organism. This for you right here.
Thing that's coming the moment you are exposed to the elements outside. And it did not used to be like this, but whatever it is accelerating and it's increasing in intensity. It's whatever's in the air out there. As soon as you step outside your house, it's when your energy starts getting drained. I wasn't out there, but maybe within 5 to 10 minutes, my energy literally got drained from my body when I was exposed to the sun and whatever is up there in the sky.
So I just want to make this clear to the complex cell organism that because you cannot biosynthesize the sun, because you don't possess neuromelanin, this is gonna happen. This matter of fact, this was last summer. This happened to her last summer, and like I said, each year is gonna keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. We're gonna be getting exposed to more radiation, specifically UVC radiation. So this is gonna keep occurring with your people. My suggestion to y'all would be stay indoors. I'm gonna just be completely honest. Stay indoors, especially during the summer. Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. I'm just keeping it real. Stay indoors. You cannot biosynthesize the sun. Stop trying to prove the lie because the sun is exposing you right now. It's exposing you. I'm just going to be honest. Like, stop trying to prove that you're natural to the planet. All of you deep down inside know that you're not natural or conducive to this planet. You know that. Y'all are breaking down faster and faster each year. You're making it worse on yourself. You're literally proving how you're not meant to be on the planet, how you're not compatible with the planet.
That's a big part of it too, because I haven't, this is like happening on a regular basis with a lot of people. As soon as you step outside, if you're outside, it doesn't take long, and it could even be penetrating inside the houses. That's also draining our energy.
And I just want to say that this is not happening to so-called black people. I felt energized during the summer. My cousin felt energized during the summer. I talked to my brother Zay on the phone. He's feeling energized when summer was here. I talked to them on the phone. I talked to my cousin. We were feeling very energized. We had a lot of energy. So this is not happening to so-called black people. This is only happening to the complex cell organism, and it's going to be even worse the summer of 2025. So like I said, I would suggest y'all stay indoors.
Oh my gosh.
And here's the comments. Yep. Some people can't even stand. It hurts to go outside. Yeah.
Coming from.
So hold on. Let's go over here real fast. It could even be penetrating the houses. Yes, it is. You see this right here? Wow. You see that right there? You see that right there? It's nothing you can do about this. It is not making fun of other races of people, because I told you the joke is on y'all. The embarrassment is on us. The joke is on y'all. The embarrassment is truly on us. And we're going to have to deal with this. The only difference is, see, our higher selves are always going to do things righteously. I'm not going to deal with you with a complex cell organism. The great separation has to take place. I'm going to deal with you. But I need you to see the entire truth for what it is. We're going to go into darkness because this power grid got to go down. It was darkness to create the power grid. It was darkness to create your economic, political, justice, your education system, your medical system. It was darkness to create those things. your cell phone towers, your laptops, your computer, all of this is made through darkness. That now it has to be darkness on the planet to get rid of it now. It has to be darkness on this planet to get total rid of this. And we fail to realize this and accept that. These are not cities. These are not countries. These are forests that we are pushed into, that has asphalt down and power lines and poles up to make us believe that this is natural. This is an
Exactly. We're living in an unnatural state, so-called black people. We're living in a concrete jungle, surrounded by harmful frequencies that these devices are giving off. Then on top of that, we're eating the poisonous foods that these people produce. This is extremely unnatural for us, and this is why it's got to go. But anyways, moving on. Shout out to Kalai for this video. And for the complex cell organism, I'll say this one more time. Stay indoors, or don't come into contact with the sun. I don't mean no harm when I say that. I don't want you to feel like I'm being rude or anything. We have to come to a understanding that biologically we are different from one another. We know this. It's too much information out there. We know that we both are not the same. Stop trying to tie us all in together as if we're all just one big, happy human race family, because we're not. We're not the same species, and that's okay. Stop trying to force it. Stop trying to force this lie. It's just going to be worse on you in the long run. But let's move on. This right here, for all my prokaryotic cells, all my melanated beings, this is going to show you what foods you need to be eating.
You took your husband from he's going to be on medication for the rest of his life,
yes,
to not needing the medication at all.
April 17th was his last day taking medication.
And he has not taken the medication?
Has not touched it.
How did you do this?
With God's food, literally.
In 8 days.
God's food. That's how quickly. See, we discount the power of God's food. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Like, that's what it is. When people know that, except I call it the cell theory, then you understand how this works. Like, so if you break us down to our most basic unit, we're made up of cells.
Right.
Right? Well, cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs. Organs make up organ systems. Organ systems make up the organism, the person. It takes 19 essential vitamins and minerals with 9 amino acids with the perfect protein to make a perfect cell. I know. If you're missing one nutrient, you're making imperfect cells for 7 days, and those imperfect cells manifest into disease. And so what I know to be true is there's one root cause of disease, and that's malfunctioning of cells. So where do you get the nutrients from? So to have a healthy cell, you must give it the right nutrients, right? That's where you get the healthy cells from the food you eat. God's food heals people.
Truth is hidden in a plain sight. We are one with the nature.
Exactly. So the prokaryotic cell, I say this all the time, it has a strict diet. We're not supposed to be eating all this artificial BS. We're not carnivores. We're not omnivores. We're mainly frugivores. So-called black people, we are mainly frugivores. We're not supposed to be eating meat. We can't even break it down. And like she says, we're not even giving our body the right nutrients. Most of us aren't even operating at 100%. Do you understand that? So I just want you to think about this video before you go pick up that bag of Cheetos or Doritos. Before you put that steak in your mouth. Before you put that chicken in your mouth. Before you eat a BLT sandwich. I want you to think about that. Study your genetics so you can understand what you're supposed to be consuming. You don't see anything in nature just going around eating anything like we are. Animals in nature know their genetic makeup, they know their biology, so that therefore they know what they're supposed to be eating. Why don't we? We're supposed to be the most advanced and most intelligent species throughout all of nature, but we're the most sick. You want to know why? Because we're not eating according to our genetic makeup. Moving forward.
The whole trick is to change your mind. If I can make you think you not nothing, if I can make you think that gland don't mean nothing, yeah, the appendix, it don't mean anything. You can live without it. Then you take your appendix out, now you have all type of gut problems because the appendix is what actually produces bacteria. Oh, them tonsils, take them out. There's no reason for God made a damn mistake, buddy. Then they take your tonsils out. Now you can't even drain your brain because your tonsils are big ass lymph nodes that drains your brain from amyloid protein, from acid buildup in the brain, from all type of things. And we wonder why we're very, very high when it comes to bald-headedness. We wonder why it's high when we come to neurological diseases. We wonder why we high when it comes to autism, when it comes to dementia, when it comes to Alzheimer's disease, because we don't even know where to drain it from, because the lymphatic system drains into, the lymphatic system drains into the lymphatic system by way of the tonsils. See that? They be making you think that these body parts on you, God was just like, damn, I got some extra pieces. Let me just throw this shit in here a little bit. You know, like the creator was just, damn, there was some extra pieces left. Let me just put that on there and call that a lymph node. Let me just put that on the skin and call that a hair. Let me hang that from the vagina and call that a pubic hair. No, Most High don't work like that. Most High do not work like that. Period.
Exactly. Stop taking your children to their hospitals and stop letting them take things from you. Everything that's inside of our vessel is important. It has a purpose. Because if it didn't, it wouldn't be there. We have to stop letting them take we got to stop letting them take parts of our body. You don't ever get to see them parts of your body. They take them. What do they do with it? They're using it because it's of importance. Just like your wisdom teeth. Why do they take out your wisdom teeth? Because it's connected to different parts of the body. Your teeth are all connected to different parts of your body. Everything about us is important. I'm just gonna be honest, but moving on. Disclaimer, I'm not showing this video to make fun of anybody. I'm not doing that at all. But we have to understand what we are dealing with. So-called black people, you got to understand that you're not the same as anybody on this planet. This is the species that you're dealing with. Because they have so many different animals that are trying to, first of all, they have so many different animals because I'm gonna get to this. Like the woman said in the previous video when she healed her husband, cells make up tissues, tissues make up organs, organs make up organ systems, and organ systems make up the organism. And because they're spliced with so many different animals, this is the residual effects of that. They're going to start to tweak out more and more every year. Like I said, the sun is breaking them down. And because they can't biosynthesize the sun, they're being broken down to their most simplest form. They share different percentages of DNA with different animals. Y'all have to realize this. They are not you. So we're going to start to see more activity like this. They're tweaking out. I'm just going to be honest. And just in my last video, I showed you the white dude, 19 years old, who wanted to see what it was like to actually kill someone. This is going to be normal behavior moving forward. They can't hide this forever. Let's move on. Like I said, so-called black people, be wary of who's around you. This is a dangerous organism to be around. I'm just going to be completely honest. And I'm not saying that every so-called white person, Asian person, or Arab person is out to try to harm you or is going to harm you, but you got to understand what they're made up of. And once you understand what they're composed of, now you know how to move accordingly.
In the womb of our mothers are all manifested in the presence of this complex chemical substance called melanin. Melanin is also present in the internal system and in all parts of your body, your heart, your liver, your muscles, your nerves, your intestines, and 12, notice the 12 locations in your brain called the 12 melanated clusters, or the 12.
And like I said, you wonder why they're trying to take parts of your body. Melanin is all throughout our entirety of our being. Neuromelanin is throughout all of our entire being. And you see why they want to see her take your appendix. Why they want to take your tonsils. Why they say, oh, some people even get their stomach took out. Do you understand that? Because, oh, you can live without it. You see why they want to take one of your kidneys. Because neuromelanin is present and they need that. Like I said, stop going to their doctors. If you're not in immediate danger, if you're not finna die, meaning if you got shot, okay, I understand that. But if you just got a little disease, a sickness, learn how to heal that shit yourself, because like I said, the prokaryotic cell does not get sick. It only heals itself. And you get symptomologies when it tries to heal itself. And those symptomologies is what they call disease and sickness.
Cranial nerve systems. It is indeed our mothers who give us melanin. Goes back to the woman being a prototype again. The mitochondria, Eve DNA, because the woman is who gives us melanin. The black man would not have melanin without the black woman. That should make you really like reconsider things, y'all. I'm just saying, just go and meditate.
Exactly. Like, there's too much proof out there that the so-called black woman was the first organism on the planet. It's too much proof out there. Like I said, your mother is your first God.
On these things, I'm not saying take everything I'm saying true. Hey, measure everything I'm saying, test me, prove me wrong in a good way, not in a bad way. Don't prove me wrong to say, oh, that nigga wrong, he lying. Prove me wrong for you can actually see what I'm talking about is actually right. It said, indeed, our mothers who gives us melanin once we are still in the womb. Melanin is a substance responsible for our existence. Without melanin, it's impossible for you to heal. It is a healer, a drug. It is an organizer of major body functionings. Melanin, carbon, or sugar is a system into itself. It is present in both sperm and egg. It is present in both sperm and egg. And it supervises the growth of the development of the fetus. This is by Browder.
Boom. So it's present in both sperm and egg, and you wonder why they want to procreate with you now. You wonder why. How did they go from saying that we're diseased, infest people, in that we were 3/5 of a human and we evolved from apes, people? This is what they said about us. To now, all of a sudden, they want to lay down with you. They want to marry you now. Y'all better wake up.
don't come from Neanderthals. We don't come from monkeys, apes, baboons, or canines. Other people do, but we don't. When you check our cells, we're something called prokaryotic cells, and other races are made with eukaryotic cells. Am I saying that we don't have any eukaryotic cells? Yes, we have grown to accumulate eukaryotic cells. But
Now, that's the only thing I don't agree with. I don't believe we have any eukaryotic cells at all because, like I said, eukaryotic cells are animal cells. And black people, we don't got no animal DNA. I'm going to just be honest. We don't got no animal DNA. So that's the only thing I don't agree with right there.
we come from prokaryotic cells. And prokaryotic cells are the first cellular organisms ever here on this earth, showing you that you was here and you was literally going through your evolution period and stages as earth was being created itself. You've been here before that stage. You are an eternal molecular structure, y'all, and we're going to show this, y'all. Now, check this out. Anatomical differences between races. All right, biological differences exist in the body composition of blacks and whites. We reviewed literature on the differences and similarities between the two races relative to fat-free body mass. So they're checking our water, they're checking our mineral content and our amino acids. Now, the reason why I want to speak on the amino acids because I just told you that L-tarsenine and L-tritryptophan, these are amino acids that actually make up melanin, and amino acids is what makes up this sugar phosphate backbone connected together by minerals that makes the whole DNA helix, or what we're going to call the deoxyribonucleic acid structure. So your melanin is deeper than just the sun. This shit makes up your whole atomical molecular structure, your DNA.
Exactly. That's why we say neuromelanin is what programs all of our cells. We're some great people. Once you start to learn genetics and you start to learn about yourself, you start to understand that so-called black people, we are so great, and you wonder why they got to do all these tactics in order just to keep you confused and sick all the time. Because you're way greater than what they've been telling you. They said that we all the same. That's not true at all. Why do you think they got to snatch your children up? Every 30 seconds, a melanated baby, boom, snatched just like that. And you wonder why? Because you are great. And we have to realize that. Boom. So, this, I kind of just wanted to show this for all the people who's saying that we're all the same. We're all one human species. White people came from black people. Blah, blah, blah. No, that's complete bullshit. Because like the woman said, cells create tissues, tissues create organs, organs create organ systems, and organ systems create the body, aka the organism. So when we say that we are not the same species, we're talking about genetics. We're not talking about skin color. A lot of people are so focused on skin color when, nigga, we're not even talking about skin color. We're talking about what makes up the skin color, aka your DNA, your genetics. We're talking about this shit on a cellular level. We are not talking, bro, we're not talking about skin color. Get that shit out of your head. Because if this is true right here, if this whole step-by-step system and how an organism is manifested and expressed into reality, then that would mean if we were all the same, if we were all 99% the same, we would all present the same. So why are they lying? Guess what? A lion and a tiger are both big cats, but they present differently because they are not the same. They have different genetics. They're not the same genetically. Same thing with us, so-called black people. We are not the same as everybody else walking around you. We are our own species. And I know this is hard for a lot of people to grasp and hard for a lot of people to understand, but the proof is in the fucking pudding. I'm gonna just be honest. Like I said, your genetics create your phenotype. And your phenotype is how You are expressed on the outside, how you look, how you present. So if it's true that we were all the same, we would be able to create each other, but we cannot create each other. You want to know why? Because we're not the same species. This is not hard to grasp, my brothers and sisters. It's not hard at all. I'm trying to tell you. It's not hard. Let's move on.
Are animals. So today, let's uncover some of the terrifying truths about chimpanzees. Cannibalism. When it comes to these primates, even the most sacred moments can turn into scenes of horror. You see, usually mothers take what we can call a maternity leave from their family unit. They retreat and isolate themselves until their child is born, keeping their precious newborn safe. But on December 2nd, 2014, something shocking unfolded before the eyes of researchers Itanaru Nishi and Michio Nakamura in the mountains of Tanzania. Against all expectations, this particular mother decided to skip her maternity leave. In an unusual twist, she chose to deliver her baby right in front of a group of about 20 other chimps. By then, she didn't understand the consequences of her actions. As Nishi and Nakamura observed in disbelief, right after the infant's arrival into the world,
this is the key for all.
An adult male chimpanzee snatched a helpless newborn and cannibalized the innocent baby. The gruesome sight left the researchers questioning.
You heard that? The chimpanzee, a male chimpanzee, snatched the female chimpanzee's baby and ate the baby. This is who the complex cell organism shares 98% of their DNA with. And your genealogy is directly connected to your psychological state. They did the same shit in slavery. They were cooking and eating us. I'm just gonna let's tell the truth now. They were what, Nat Turner? These motherfuckers was eating us too. So why do you think that their behavior would be different? Like I said in my last video, they're not performing these acts as much, let's say at least upon us, because they're not really around us that much, but because they are heavily distracted with jobs, social media, TV, and law enforcement at that. So if they were out in nature, if they didn't have any consequences to their actions, they would perform the same exact atrocities. But because this is, you think law enforcement was just, nigga, it wasn't no law enforcement during slavery. Do you understand that? It wasn't no goddamn law enforcement. That shit was created after slavery. And it's a double-edged sword with law enforcement. On one side, they created it for the so-called black people to keep the black man out of the motherfucking black household. And on the other side, they had to keep their genetics hidden. So they gave their people consequences for the thoughts that they acted upon. Like I said, your genealogy is directly connected to your psychological state. So let me go ahead and play this video, a little bit more of this video.
Questioning the motive behind a chimpanzee mother's usual instinct to leave her group before going into labor. Could it be that cannibalism is the driving force behind this mysterious behavior? But hold on tight, because there's more. It's not just the vulnerable infants who face the dark side of their own kind. A family of chimps in Africa sets an attack against their neighboring enemies, other chimpanzees. A few members of the attacking group succeed.
Look, this Napoleon versus, who the fuck did Napoleon go against? Napoleon against other Europeans or whatever, because you know Napoleon went to war with a lot of motherfuckers. Nigga, this the same shit. They going to war on each other. So why do you think their behavior would be any different? There is a reason the complex cell organism loves wars. It's a reason why they just love genocide. They love committing these type of acts. They like committing these types of acts because it's in their motherfucking genetics. It's not hard to grasp this shit, my people. The same shit these niggas are doing is the same shit the white man was doing, the Asian man was doing, the Arab man was doing. It's the same shit. How are we not getting this? How are we not understanding this? It's the same exact motherfucking shit. Literally. Just because the suit looks different, and the suit looks different because, like I said, the complex cell organism or the white, Asian, and Arab man, they are spliced with different animals. This is why they look a little bit different than the motherfucking chimpanzee. But guess what? Their psychological state is the same, nigga. Their behavior is the same, my nigga. Like I said, learn genetics. It's the same. They're the same motherfuckers.
In killing a young chimp from the opposing family. But their brutality doesn't stop there. They share the victim's lifeless body amongst themselves, indulging in a macabre feast, making sure no meat goes to waste. It's a savage act, driven by the need to protect their local food supply and establish dominance over their rivals.
Establish dominance over their rivals. Sounds like some people we ran into before, huh, my people? Establish dominance. And you're questioning why the fuck they do what the fuck they do. Nigga, I don't gotta question why they do what the fuck they do because I know why. Nigga, they share 98% of their DNA with this violent ass animal. So we gotta stop with the, oh, we need better police, blah, 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 all this bullshit. Nigga, we don't need none of that shit. We need to separate from these people. Like I said, we have to be cautious when dealing with this motherfucking species. Because they are spliced with violent animals, this shit is normal. You're questioning, why the fuck would Steve, when he got fired from his job, why would he wake up the next day and slaughter his motherfucking family and take his own life? Nigga, because it's in his genetics. Like, what the fuck? We gotta stop asking dumbass questions and learn us. But let me move on from that video though. Genealogy is directly connected to your psychological state. I'm gonna say that one more time. Genealogy, meaning your genetics, is directly connected to your psychological state, meaning the way you think, your behavior. Boom. Let's go. Hold on. Get this off the screen. Boom.
It's called gene editing. You cannot edit our genes. So give me 1 second here. All right, cool. So let me get right. I'm glad it's up on the screen here. Here we go right here. He Zhengku, the Chinese researcher who stunned the world last year by announcing he had helped produce genetically edited babies, has been found guilty of conducting illegal medical practices and sentenced to 3 years in prison.
So when we tell you that the complex cell organism was seeded here, I mean, if you look at the definition of eukaryotic cell, it'll literally tell you true seeded nucleus. So when we tell you that these people are unnatural to the planet and that they were created, nigga, they still doing the same shit. Genetically edited babies. Genetically edited babies. Meaning that this nigga spliced into the cells of humans, put his own genetic information or whatever he wanted to add to those cells and created a whole organism. This nigga created a whole new species. Yeah, this nigga created a whole new species. And he only got 3 years in prison? Nigga, what?
So y'all see this, right? 2018. Now he got 3 years in prison for genetically edited. Found that he and 2 collaborators forged ethical review documents and misled doctors into unknowingly implanting gene editing embryos into 2 women.
Oh my gosh.
According to Xinghu. This is, now excuse me for mispronouncing some of these names, but in China. I'm not Asian and it's not like I can't learn it, but again, excuse me for mispronouncing this if you know the correct pronunciation. So anyway, China state-run press agency. This is Xinghu, China state press-run agency. One mother gave birth to twin girls in November 2018. It has not been made clear when the 3rd baby was born. The court ruled that the 3 defendants had deliberately violated national regulations on biomedical research and medical ethics and rashly applied gene editing technology to human reproductive medicine. Now, let me finish going into this real fast. All 3 pled guilty. Now, it was 3, according to Xinghu. The court also fined his name is formerly of the Southern University of Science and Technology, SUST Tech, and known as JK to friends and colleagues, 3 million Chinese yuan, $429,000. His collaborators were identified as Xing Renal of the Medical Institute in Guangdong Province and Qin Jinghu. So again, apologize if I'm fucking their names up, but it is what it is. I apologize. From a Xinghu medical institution. Xing received a 2-year prison sentence and was fined 1 million yuan, according to Xinghu. This is the press right here. Whereas Qin was given 18 months in prison with a 2-year reprieve and a 500,000 yuan fine. Now, let me.
So, I'm asking my people this question. Do you think this is the only motherfucker that's trying to do this shit? I just want to be honest. He's not the only nigga that's did this shit. I'm gonna be honest. He's not the only motherfucker that's did this shit. Niggas only get so-called black people, and I understand this is 2 different, countries. I understand that. So I'm gonna take that into account. But a so-called black man, we sell a pound of weed, nigga, we in there 15 years. We in the motherfucking jail 15 years. This nigga created a whole new species, and he get 3 years, nigga. This nigga is out right now. And I'm sure he's doing the same shit. Like, oh my gosh. Nigga, we can sell a motherfucking dime bag and get 10 years in prison, right? But this nigga created a whole different species by using CRISPR-Cas9 to splice into cells, put genetic information into that cell, into an embryo, planted it into a woman to create a whole new species. And the nigga got 3 years. I mean, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on. But you can't make this shit up. The nigga created a whole new species and got 3 years in prison. But I mean, hey, the nigga who did that is a put together organism as well. So, hey.
Get that black woman right, nobody is gonna be right. When you take care of the black woman, you take care of the whole race. You dumb motherfuckers. We've been worshiping the goddamn man deity for the last 3,000 years, bitch, and the only place we done got, bitch, is in slavery. Is the black woman God? If she ain't, your ass is in trouble, cause all other gods have failed us. All other gods have failed. So until you can
Exactly. So once the so-called black woman gets right, once she understands who she is, she's gonna be passing that down to her children. And our future is gonna be bright. But because the so-called black woman does not understand who she is, my nigga, she's teaching her children that we're all the same and all this other shit, that we should go get a job and do this and do that, all this other bullshit that does not align with us. This is why we are practicing self-destruction, because she does not understand who she is. So once that so-called black woman gets right, we will automatically begin to rise. And it can't just be one so-called black woman. It can't just be 3 so-called black women. It got to be the whole motherfucking 9. Let me go ahead and move on.
Its highest temperature in
I want to clarify, this was last summer. So if this was last summer, this right here, this happened last summer. So imagine what this summer's going to be like.
Recorded history, topping 126 degrees Fahrenheit, smashing the previous record by 3 degrees. In northern Syria, displaced people describe the conditions at camps as akin to living in an oven, with children and the elderly facing few options for relief from 108-degree heat. Meanwhile, a third of people in the United States face excessive heat warnings or advisories this weekend, and Europe could record its hottest day ever this week. Italian authorities issued an extreme health risk in 16 cities as extreme heat dominated news reports worldwide.
As you can see, there are lots of tourists here in Italy, and some of them have collapsed in the last few days because of heat strokes. And that includes
So like I said, this was last summer. And I stated that the sun is getting hotter. We're being exposed to more UVC radiation each year. The ozone layer is being removed. The magnetic field is failing. And boom, hold up. What video was it? I think it was this video. But yep, this video. What did she say? The sun, there's energy that it feels like it's draining her energy because they cannot biosynthesize the sun. Because they cannot biosynthesize the sun, they are breaking down. They ain't say no black people. They ain't say this happening to the so-called black people, right? This ain't happening to so-called black people. This is happening to the complex cell organism. But yeah, I just want this to be a little reminder to my people that we are not the same as these other species walking around with us. We're not the same as these people. Nigga, I thrived in the summer. Like I told y'all, I was energetic. You feel what I'm saying? And some of our brothers and sisters will have complications going forward with the sun because they are not eating what they're supposed to be eating. And the sun tries to purge those toxins out of your body. And if you keep going against your genetic makeup, eating these destructive ass foods, nigga, you finna go with the complex cell organism. I'm gonna just be honest. You're feeding the antigens on your blood. you're allowing the bacteria in your body to pleomorphosize and turn into parasites that are going to do harm to your body because they're eating away at the bad shit in your body, but they're also eating the motherfucking good shit. So like I said, learn genetics and start eating according to your genetic makeup. I already told y'all, we're not supposed to be eating that bullshit. But if y'all niggas want to keep eating it, that's completely fine, but do not push that upon children. If you as a grown-ass adult wants to eat that bullshit, that is completely fine. You're grown as fuck. But like I said, do not push that upon children. Don't push that onto children. But let's get to this last video though. Boom.
That states with 95% confidence that a catastrophic event will take place starting as early as 2025 and affect every human on the planet, disrupting weather patterns and creating climate chaos, including deadly droughts, the melting of the ice caps, and sea level rising. Almost every mainstream corporate news media source has picked up this story and spread the study, sounding the alarm for 2025. But is this just more hyped up environmental hysteria, or an indication of what will happen in less than 2 years? The study predicts a, quote, forthcoming collapse of the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, also known as AMOC, a natural process which circulates water from north to south and back again in a long cycle within the Atlantic Ocean that helps regulate the Earth's climate, as well as carry nutrients to sustain ocean life. Whether or not the AMOC really does collapse in 2025 may or may not be true. Only time will tell. Perhaps it will just continue to ebb and flow, strengthening and weakening over time as it always has. But the real question is, why 2025? It seems this date has been singled out by scientists, intelligence organizations, and global elites as a time of great destructive and abrupt change, which will ultimately destroy the current state of society. In 2020, I produced a 3-part series called What Will Happen in 2025, which examines some of these predictions. The first was from Deagle.com, which predicted a massive drop in population and GDP in the US, Canada, and most.
This shit looks like it's happening because, like I said, the complex cell organism was not allowed to reproduce, okay? When it was first created, it did not have the ability to reproduce, so it's going back to not having the ability to reproduce, okay? And because they are not reproducing, they're dying faster than they're being born. So this is why the motherfucking population is dropping so fast. And then on top of that, you seen what motherfuckers dying from heat strokes and shit? The sun is gonna keep getting hotter and hotter. So this shit looks like it's happening, right? I mean, if we just look at the world and we study genetics and we start to understand our differences and we start to understand history, it's starting to look like this shit is real, huh? Now, I'm not putting no date. I'm not saying nothing's happening on 2025. I'm not going to put no date on nothing. But guess what? I know this shit is happening.
Most European countries, while Russia, China, India, and other members of the BRICS alliance maintain their population growth and explode in their GDP. Why did Deagle.com predict this dramatic change for 2025? Since then, they've removed these predictions from their site, certainly at the behest of their partners in NATO, the NSA, and the UN. The second prediction for 2025 was made by Global Trends in 2008, and similar to Deagle.com, their report forecasted an end to U.S. dominance on the world stage and, quote, an historic transfer of wealth and power from west to east, signaling a shift to the BRICS alliance. They also predicted that a single international community of nation-states would no longer exist. Almost a post-global government prophecy. All of this from the U.S. Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The third and creepiest 2025 prediction was from Alice A. Bailey, also known as the Prophetess of the United Nations, in her 1957 book, The Externalization of the Hierarchy, published by Lucifer Trust. She predicts illumination to mankind from the forces of light for the coming one, and that the crises of today will lead to a massive educational, religious, and economic change until 2025 AD. Quote, a great awakening in the human family and a major spiritual reorientation. And spoiler alert, she's not talking about the second advent of Christ. She's talking about Satan and his legions revealing themselves and the power structure they've used.
This shit is happening, my people. The complex cell organism's creator will be revealed to us. You're gonna see this nigga. You're gonna see this nigga. I mean, this shit looks like it's happening right now from what I can see. All you gotta do is pay attention. Learn thyself and pay attention. And you'll start to see all this shit play out.
To control the world. In other words, the title of her book, The Externalization of the Hierarchy. So what will really happen in 2025? Climate chaos, famines, mass death, economic collapse, and a satanic deception to ensnare mankind?
Starting to look like this shit is true. You heard exactly what he said. This shit is playing out right now. As I'm speaking, this shit is playing out.
Only God knows what the future holds, but we can look hopefully to the return of Jesus Christ, even if we don't know the exact time and date of his arrival. So hold fast, pray, prepare for the worst, and do not be deceived by another supposed savior.
Well, you're not gonna find no savior in your religions. Because complex cell organism, I'm gonna let you know this shit right now. If I was you, I would have some motherfucking questions for God. I'd have some questions for this nigga. Why did you splice me with different types of animals, knowing that it would affect my psychological state, because genealogy is directly connected to your psychological state? Why would you use these violent ass animals to create me? Why would you do that shit, knowing the outcome? So if I was you, I would question that nigga God up in the sky. I would question this nigga. But anyways, that's going to be the video. Abundance and gratitude to the brothers and sisters videos that I used. And as always, go follow them. Go look at their videos and strive to learn, my people. Learn, rewire your brain. Neuroplasticity. You need to be rewiring your brain and learning thyself. So anyways, peace, abundance, and gratitude.